Hey guys, Andrew here with GrooveFit. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today's video, overcoming erectile dysfunction. I'm doing a video on this because I get quite a few messages over the past couple months from men experiencing low libido, low sex drive, erectile dysfunction. And some of these people are even in their mid to early 20s, so it is a little bit alarming. And I think it's at a much higher rate than we expect it to be at, because usually you hear that for people reaching their 50s and 60s. But nonetheless, if you are experiencing it, that means there's something going on within the body that needs to be addressed, and there's a lot of bases to cover. So I have quite a few notes here, so bear with me when I look away from the screen. Number one, the biggest focus, in my opinion, is going to be hormonal health. That is a key component to having not just, healthy erections, a healthy sex drive, but really good energy, good sleep, really good at managing stress. Hormones are very, very crucial in that aspect, especially with overcoming erectile dysfunction. And one of the things I want to point towards here for people that are in their younger age, a lot of it could be stress induced. So regulating your stress hormones is going to be important. Things like cortisol, estrogen, adrenaline, serotonin. I believe, this is just my opinion, the younger generations are being more bombarded with environmental pollutants through diet, water, whatever. We're more mentally stimulated through all the technology that we're using. And I think all of those play a pretty big role in stress hormones. So number one, get your hormones in control. Regulate stress is very important. Number two, this could go for everybody, but I do believe that it's probably even more prominent in the younger generation, and that is to stop excessively masturbating and watching pornography. I'm not exactly sure what it does to the mental stimuli, but I do believe there is a major component there when it comes to libido, to erectile dysfunction. I just think it's too overly stimulating. It's not natural. And like I said, with the younger generation having tablets, phones at such a young age, I believe their addiction is much more out of control than previous generations. Not saying that any generation is better than the other. It's just the technology and the accessibility we have today that is problematic. So number two, stop excessive masturbating and watching porn. Number three, in my opinion, optimize blood circulation. My favorite way to do this is to take daily aspirin. I usually take it at night before I go to bed, but erectile dysfunction could be caused through, lack of good blood flow, and aspirin is a very safe way, in my opinion, to go about getting good circulation through all extremities, including the male genitalia. So that could help overcome erectile dysfunction. And aspirin is not just a blood thinner, but it has a quite a few benefits, in my opinion, especially if you're coming from the pro-metabolic community. I'm sure there's a lot of posts out there and information on aspirin's benefits. So another thing to look at. Number four, prioritize digestive health by consuming quality protein and easily digestible carbohydrates. I'm not going to hammer in on diet too much. I will talk about a couple of foods that can help in regards to erectile dysfunction, but getting your digestive health is very, very important, not just for overcoming erectile dysfunction, but just overall hormonal health in general. If you're going to the bathroom too frequently, you're not getting enough nutrients. If you're constipated, that's going to have the same effect as well on your hormones. So focusing on getting easily digestible carbohydrates, good fats, good quality sources of protein are going to be crucial. Some of these superfoods that I recommend, let's see here. Oysters are fantastic. Liver, kiwi, orange, coffee, applesauce. And I'll talk about two other things that I think are pretty interesting, and I'm not going to recommend them to anybody, but it's personal experience. I've noticed a good effect. But all of those foods are really good. Oysters and liver contain a lot of micronutrients that are missing in the diet that are really, really crucial for good libido. Kiwi and orange, those are very easily digestible. Coffee is another one that really helps with erectile dysfunction. And other things you can do when it comes to, this is kind of diet and lifestyle. Increasing sun exposure and red light is very important. I don't think sitting under artificial light has ever been healthy for anybody. So getting out in the sun, an hour, a couple hours a day, depending on how well you tolerate it, is going to be very important. And two things that I was going to talk about or actually one technically, is consuming nicotine, or I like to smoke cigars every now and then. I don't know what it is about it. It definitely has to be the nicotine in it, but it definitely helps with getting better erections. And I've heard that from a lot of people as well, especially when they combine some kind of nicotine source with their coffee. Is kind of like a real powerhouse for overcoming erectile dysfunction. Another one, major cause for erectile dysfunction could be pharmaceuticals, overconsumption of marijuana or smoking cigarettes, or too much drinking. Those play very crucial roles in your hormonal health, which will directly impact erectile dysfunction. Now, some supplements that I recommend, vitamin E, magnesium, gonadin, that's a Georgie Dinkoff with idealabsdc.com supplement. Really good for the men out there. It helps keep certain hormones at bay, like cortisol and estrogen. And Tribulus is another supplement that I've been taking to help increase DHT. DHT has been shown to be very crucial for sexual health. And the last thing I'm going to put here is sleep optimization and weightlifting are going to be crucial. Getting good quality sleep is a no-brainer for just overall health. But if you're not sleeping, that's going to be impacting your sexual health as well. So those are my top tips, guys. And when it comes to weightlifting, sorry, I was going to close off here. But when it comes to weightlifting, I want to make it very clear. I don't think you should be in the gym killing yourself 5 to 6 times a week. Do what feels best to you, 2 to 3 times a week. I do for about an hour, but I try not to tank myself because that will actually have negative impacts on your hormonal health, which will have negative impacts on erectile dysfunction. So I hope this helps, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or if you have any tips yourself for overcoming this, I'm sure a lot of people could use some more tips. So drop them below. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.